Hey, what's cracking everybody? Welcome back to Computer Games Hardware. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the video, guys. And as you might see, we've had a bit of a set change here at Computer Games Hardware. So we've shuffled things around a little bit. We're trying to make things look a little bit nicer, a little bit more professional. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. We're going to be adding some storage space and things to put some stuff up and make things look nice and cool, get some extra lights and stuff like that. So hope you like it. Let me know in the comments down below. Today on the channel, we're doing some computer games hardware news because it's been a couple of weeks since we've had a regular episode, and I just wanted to ease into it with the new set with a nice and easy one and talk about some of the topics that have been hitting the tech sphere over the last couple of weeks. CGHW News is a segment where we talk about something computer, games, and hardware related, and let's get stuck into it. Alright, first up in the news, we've got AMD's 96 and 9700X receiving BIOS updates and warranty extensions to support the 105 watt TDP mode that's been introduced by a couple of motherboard vendors. So a couple of motherboard vendors have slowly been rolling this out, mainly MSI and ASUS. So the BIOS update ups the TDP from 65 watts for these parts to 105 watts, and MSI and I believe ASUS as well are claiming up to a 13% uplift in performance for these CPUs. It should be worth noting, however, it's been reported that gaming performance has not seen much of an uplift. This is probably due to the increase in TDP supporting multi-core workloads rather than single core. So if you're looking for a boost to productivity in your workload applications, this BIOS update might be for you. And the good news is if you're worried about it, AMD is also offering warranty extensions for these parts just to be safe and cover for any degradation or things that might occur with the the increased power going through those CPUs. Seems like they're trying to play it a little bit safe with everything going on with Intel and their microcode changes and stuff like that. They've also offered some warranties and RMA claims for their CPUs for the 13th and 14th gen, but there's more on that later on. So by default, your motherboard will still run these parts at their original 65 watt TDP. So if you're worried about that and you don't want to increase it and you want to run the part as is, no worries there. You just run the part as normal, even if you update the BIOS. If you want to change the setting, you have to go into the BIOS manually and update it to the 105 watt setting yourself with the BIOS update and then change some settings. Okay, so there's a couple of ways to do this actually. So once you've updated your BIOS, you can go into your motherboard's general overclocking settings and update the TDP through there, or you can go to the AMD CBS settings. My recommendation would be to go through the general overclocking settings on your motherboard, because in my experience with my MSI motherboard in particular, sometimes the AMD CBS settings do not save, or they get overwritten in certain circumstances. And that's not just for TDPs, it's for overclocking PBO and also stuff like that. So now's probably a good time for all AMD users to check if their motherboard has a BIOS update for them, because AMD has been working pretty hard to fix this sync close vulnerability that's been affecting all Ryzen processors all the way back to the 3000 series. So there's been a vulnerability that's been fixed. Don't fret, it is probably not an urgent one because people need to have direct access to your system to be able to exploit the vulnerability. However, there is a fix for it. So AMD have released a GISA BIOS update to address the issue. So, you know, if you haven't updated your BIOS in quite some time, now's the perfect time to do it. You get your system up to date, nice and safe. You might even get, 1 to half a performance increase as well. Who knows? But definitely something to think about for 9000 series early adopters. Hey, just want to jump in here and say, if you're enjoying any of the content on Computer Games Hardware, please chuck us a like, share, and subscribe. Watching the videos to the end really helps me out. I really appreciate all the support you've all given me, particularly those OGs out there who have stuck around for the start. Really appreciate you, and shout out to all our new subscribers. All right, guys, let's have some gaming news with Sony deciding to shut down Concord. So Concord is going the way of the Concords, and it's being shut down at supersonic speeds due to really negative reviews and very low Steam concurrent player counts. This has been a disaster for Sony. It's one of the quickest shutdowns of a game that I've ever seen in my lifetime. Really negative reviews of this game have torched it, and it is going down with flames, with Sony shutting it down on September 6th. So very well might be already shut down by the time you're seeing this video, which is hugely disappointing because the developers have spent lots of time, effort, and put their heart and souls to it. And by most accounts, it seems like it wasn't the worst game, it just wasn't positioned properly. Sony says it's shutting down Concord on September 6th to figure out where to go from here. So this must mean that they have to reassess, because it is one of these hero shooters that is like Overwatch, which is becoming a pretty oversaturated market. We've got games like Marvel Rivals, which has brand recognition and all that sort of stuff. And this one just didn't really hit the way that Sony had intended. The good news is that refunds will be available on all storefronts in the next couple of days. Some bad news though, if you've purchased a physical copy, you're left to undertake a refund with the retailer that you purchased the game with. And that's a little bit disappointing. It's not a very good user experience, particularly when, different retailers have different policies and procedures for refunds. Anyway, pour one out for Concord. Gone too soon. Really feel sorry for the developers on this one. So, if you enjoyed Concord, play it while you still can, because by the time this video is out, it's going to be gone. Alright guys, last but not least, we're swinging it back around to Intel and the 13th and 14th generation degradation issues, which has been cursing the company for the last month or so. Turns out that things are so bad that Intel has limited or no stock availability for RMA. A Reddit user going by the name of Towel4 put out a PSA on the Intel subreddit, just letting people know that he received an email saying that there was no stock or availability for his RMA process. He had opted to get a replacement part for his degraded Intel chip, and Intel sent him an email, and let's go ahead and read it. It says, from Intel customer support, dear Towel4, we have an update for you. I was able to successfully validate your product and it is still under warranty. However, at the moment, due to stock availability issues, we don't have an actual or same part replacement available for the reported unit, an Intel Core 13900K. So, as well as a higher but compatible replacement, and normally it would take 45 weeks or more before our stocks are replenished. We'd like to know if you're willing to wait 3 to 4 weeks while we check with our planning team about stock replenishment. That's 3 to 4 weeks to check of stock replenishment. So that is actually crazy. We look forward to hearing back from you about this. To allow ample time to respond / provide the information above, it is okay if we follow up with you on Wednesday, September 4th, 2024. If we have not heard from you, we will check back with you on the date mentioned above to make sure that we can efficiently address your concern. We do apologize for the delay. That is pretty disappointing from Intel, and if you've had some degradation issues, that is clearly not what you are looking for. So as you can imagine, the feedback from other Reddit users range from Intel sucks balls to actually that some other customers had quite good RMA experiences, particularly in the US and the EU, to other users in third world countries complaining that they don't even have an option for an RMA process or a refund, and how unfair that is. And I have to tend to agree with them. If you're in a country outside of the US, the EU, or even somewhere like Australia, and you haven't got the opportunity to refund or RMA your product that you've bought, and that there's been global degradation of these parts, that is extremely disappointing. Everyone should at least have the option to get their money back, somehow. I find that pretty disappointing. He's hoping that Intel's next generation really does away with all these issues, and they put some time and effort into their product testing and identifying these issues, because this issue has been going on for some years now, just flying under the radar. I'm actually looking forward to Intel's next generation, and I want to focus on the Ultra lineup of products that are set to be released in the next couple of months. So I'm looking forward to finding out some more information. We've got some tidbits and trickles coming out, so look out for that stuff on Computer Games Hardware. Enjoy the new set, and stick around with me for some more videos. We're going to be talking about some GPU news. We're going to revive our Card Wars series and talk about NVIDIA and AMD GPUs in the coming weeks. We're also going to have a look at some of the new AM5 motherboards that are set to be released in line with the 9000 series X3D models. So look out for some of that stuff on Computer Games Hardware. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I've had a really good time making this. I hope you guys enjoy the new set and the new look. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. We're going to be doing a little bit of tweaks and changes throughout the next couple of weeks and months, so stick around to see what we land on. Thanks for watching. See you next time.